Hey, how's it going, folks? Welcome to Sit Down and Shut Up. Hope you guys doing well tonight on this Sunday. Today we have Spark, so let's bring him on. Hey, Spark, can you hear me?
Hello.
How's it
Yeah, I
going?
can hear you.
Awesome. How's it going?
Pretty good. Hey, I appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, of course, of course. So tell me a little more about what you're looking for. So I know you want to be able to beat Ken's, try to get
Yeah.
the download, if you will. So is that kind of what you're looking for, or what do you think? How would you like the session to go? If that's a question I can ask.
Yeah, of course. So somewhat, yeah, it is just like I want to really get used to like Ken's key tools, his block strings, like where I can escape pressure, stuff like that.
Okay.
On another level, I think you're just a more experienced player, and right now I'm looking for sort of like a direction to go in
Okay.
because if you could describe the last few months of Street Fighter 6 for me, it's been kind of directionless. I'm trying to figure out like what's the best way for me to approach the game.
Okay.
I don't know if that's something that you can help me with, but like I'm not sure what the most productive way for me to engage with Street Fighter 6 is right now.
Gotcha,
If that makes
gotcha.
sense.
So you're just kind of like maybe just game in, playing ranked, maybe getting some games with folks, and it's just kind of I don't know if I'm improving, I don't know if I'm getting better, I don't know if things are changing for me. It's just kind of meh, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
I feel like I've had a hard time measuring progress in the
okay,
past 3 months.
okay, cool. I did take a look at your CFN, and I think we can maybe pull a replay against a ranked Ken, at least one that I saw recently. Maybe not recently, but one that I saw anyway.
Yeah.
Hopefully the replay is
Okay.
still good. I know there's an update recently. I don't know when you played ranked last. The reason I wanted to look at that though is because I think because you're currently what's your current MR, like around 1500, right? Am I not mistaken? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 14, 15. I'm kind
Okay,
of floating around there.
gotcha. So the way that I may play you now may be different than the Kens you run into in ranked if you try to compare that. So like the
Yeah.
strategies that I may be employing or the things that I'm doing, the Kens may not be doing that and maybe do something else, right? So like you can see a lot more dragon lashes, right? Potentially more neutral skips, that type of thing. So it can
Mm.
help to see that analysis because I think that knowing where you want like knowing the level that you need to beat now and then knowing the level that you may have to beat later on can help a lot when it comes to like, oh, where do I go, right? How do I improve my game, right? Is it
Yeah.
like, do I need to improve my neutral game, or do I need to improve my neutral skip checks? Do I need, where is like the gap, if you will, or the hole in my game plan or hole in my current skill set, right? And where do I need to
Yeah.
improve, right? So okay, cool. So with that said, let me boot up the game here and let me create a custom room. So what I normally do is we'll
Mm.
run a first to three. I'll get a kind of sense of like where you might be struggling and all that, and see if
Okay.
that's lining up with what you're talking about. And after that, we'll hop into a real replay review. So we'll take a look at one of the games that we played and another game that I found on your CFN. We'll take a
Yeah.
look at the replays of those and try to break that down. And hopefully that'll be helpful in terms of seeing like what the Kens are doing, like what tool set,
Yeah.
what tools are they using to try to beat Ed, right? Like because you're
Yeah.
playing Ed. And after that, if there's time, it's not too late, we can run another first three, run it back, see if like some of those things helped out with kind of the approach you have, right? So,
Okay,
sound
cool.
reasonable?
Yeah.
All
I
right.
mean, I'm not really I mean, Ken's not really my like ranked demon or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking for a way that I felt like I could concretely improve my game, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that matchup knowledge was one of the first things that came to mind, where I was like, okay, what are all the things that this guy likes to use? So
Gotcha.
I actually appreciate playing somebody like you who might play in a more well-rounded way than some of the Kens at my level because you're going to be maybe show me more options I can learn.
Yeah, yeah, and it'll be like, oh, I can't just anti-air him anymore, right? Like you run
Yeah.
into somebody that doesn't jump. How do you beat them if they don't? If you never jump, your anti-airs are on point, but you never get to use them because they never jump, right? For example.
Or,
Right, cool. So go and hop in any slot. I'll jump in with you. I tend to deafen during this section because I don't want to
mm,
impact anything you're doing, right? So I tend to talk a lot during
yeah.
this. So if you watch the VOD later, you'll see what I was thinking during the game. So
All
with
right.
that, good luck.
Cool.
All right. So Spark, I've seen around. I think they're the current one of the. I think they have the heavy hitter title right now, actually, for BLKO. So they're no slouch, right? This is a good player. I think that you know, they've gotten some coaching in the past. I know that they played Satoru a while back, so let's see what's going on with them. AZ Young looks good. Okay. Oh, it doesn't delay tech. That's good. Oh yeah, modern, huh? Okay. Maybe a little afraid to take Oki there. Oh, that was nice. I thought I delayed long enough, I guess. Did not do that. Didn't delay tech there. Okay. So right now, I think they actually played neutral just fine. There was a couple of situations where they, you know, they whiffed the drive rush button, and that kind of hurt them. Uh-oh. Okay, they took Oki that time, which is good. Nice. Yeah, it's a 50-50 there, I can guess. When am I going to get side and play Ryu? I have a modern Ryu. That's in Master. Oh, that was nice. Okay, good. So that was actually pretty good, right? They had me cornered. They're using Flicker 50-50, right, to kind of force me to guess. Oh, they were charging something there. Uh-oh, held parry a little too long. If I do a delay button here, let's see what happens. Oh! Damn it. So the delay button worked, right? Oh my goodness. I should have won that game twice. Yeah, no, that's on me to close that out. I obviously dropped my finisher there. I was trying to drop this one. Yeah, no, so Spark actually plays very well, right? I think that they are comfortable and neutral. They know how to use the buttons. They play well. The only issue I think right now is that they may be a little afraid to take Oki, and that has to do, I think, with the Kens at their level right now. Constantly AXDPing them, right? Oh, I should have swept. Oh, I don't have a... I don't have a meter. You see right there, right? They tend to back off a lot, right? So I should get played in ranked and they beat me. Yeah, they're a good player, man. It's not like you know. Nice. Uh-oh. So, what I'm sensing right now mostly has to do with spacing, unfortunately, right? And that's just how it goes. Neutral spacing, being able to not whiff their buttons, right? It's kind of a big eye-opener for a lot of folks, I think, once they get into, like, 1500. You see how, like, okay. We can talk about that. So, okay, yeah. They're watching their spacing, right? Is probably the main thing. Oops. Oh, that was nice. I wonder if Modern got... Oh, that was sick. I wonder if Modern got some of the updated combos for Ed. I'm not sure if that's available to them or not. Oh, that was sick. So, obviously, I need to make a decision. I need to react, or I need to drive rush or something. Not doing that, so... This is by the Oki. Another meaty. Oh, okay. I probably should have waited. Yeah. So the way I'm beating them here is mostly due to whiffed heavy buttons, right? So you can see I'm like whiff punishing a lot of their options. Oh, I don't think that's what they wanted. But you can see like what happens is they whiff like a heavy button, right? They're not even whiffing flickers; they're whiffing heavy, like heavy punch, just a heavy punch there, and then I'm able to whiff punish, right? Because I'm out of range. Larsa, what's good? Let's go. Doing my best here. Oops. Uh-oh. I'm pretty sure I can DI that TC, right? I think. We'll try next time does it. Ah! Oh, if I empty jumped. You get DI again? No. EXCP? Oh, that was a good tech. Oh, I was just a frame early. Literally there. That was actually pretty good on their part. I should have been able to punish the whiff throw. But I didn't. Ah! Well, I guess I can't do that because they... Oh, okay, that was actually really smart of them. Burned me out. Uh-oh. I gotta make sure my DPs are on point. Ah! Okay. Oh, no! Does he have enough to kill me? I don't think so, but it's gonna be close. Let's see what their wake-up option is. Are they gonna take Oki or not? I should have... That's okay, I think it's gonna kill anyway. So I obviously gambled there, right? And I think a big thing that people don't do enough of is jump on modern. But you gotta think about it from my perspective, right? Like, risk-reward wise, if I don't jump there and I try to play neutral against an Ed like this, I'm just gonna lose, right? Oh! Oh, I tried to crosscut. Uh-oh. Oh, the backdash. Man. That was really good. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm not dead yet. Now I am. Oh, that would have worked. Dang, I went for a hard read there. Sick, caught some sort of flu. Yeah, that sucks, Larsa. Feel better, because you don't want that. That sucks. Yeah, I had a I had a norovirus a few weeks ago. Okay, so the biggest notes I think right now, one is to whiff less than neutral, right? That's probably the main thing. That's how I'm beating them right now. The other thing is something like that. Is that they're kind of afraid to take Oki. Ah, ran right. I was trying to run DP. I guess I was too close. Yeah. So that's really the main thing is they're a little bit loose with their spacing, right? They're kind of running into my crouching medium kicks. because they're moving back and forth inside of that range, right? So normally, if you're trying to back up out of that, ah, oh nice, yeah. See, got to jump on modern, guys. But yeah, the two things I've noticed, probably the biggest ones, are whiffing buttons in neutral, and 1A, I suppose, will be like the spacing that they're standing at. And then number two would likely be Oki, right? Not taking Oki situations. So let's bring it back on. Let's see what they thought. Hey, Spark, what do you think?
Hey, I think I'm not watching my toes. I think I'm whiffing stand heavy punch, which if I want to be nice to myself, I don't usually do. And I
Mhm.
also got hit by the DI the one time you did it,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
I think,
I had the test, right? I mean, I have to try. And
yeah,
I said this on stream, is that I think people don't jump on modern enough, right? I think that it's something that people should be doing.
uh,
It's just harder because you have access to DP, but Ed's DP is, even though you have one frame access to it, still can be a little slow, right? Or I jump on you when you're charging flicker, right? I take the 50-50, go for it. Or I jump on
yeah,
a fireball, right? Like that's doesn't matter if you have one frame DP. If you're locked in the fireball recovery, you're gonna hit, right? But yeah,
yeah,
the two big things I was saying on stream was that one, like you probably you saw yourself, right? That some of the whiffs, right? Some of the whiff buttons was probably the bigger one. That's how I'm getting you for the most part. The
yeah.
other thing is that you tended to back off in Oki situations, right? And I think that has to do
Mhm.
with like Ken's having a reputation of EXDPing all the time, right? Constantly, right? I don't think I reversed it on
Yeah,
you once this entire set, right?
it's true. I kind of realized at a certain point, I was like, I just need to throw you every single time. You haven't
Mm-hmm.
teched.
Yeah, I took almost every throw, right? If I could, and
Yeah.
that's kind of a thing that happens. I think when like as a as a fighting game player, right? Once I
Mhm.
realized that I was able to kind of win more neutral interactions, I'm more willing to
Yeah.
take throws in situations where I
Yeah.
had to use drive rush, right? So you spend 3 bars, you get 1200 damage, great. Right, like we set back to
Yeah.
neutral, you have to spend another bar, or maybe you have to charge flicker or something, right? But it's
Yeah.
really not worth the reward in particular, right? Especially if I'm taking throws like that, right? So don't be afraid necessarily to take Oki. So let's take a look at one of the games here. I'm gonna stream
Yeah.
in Discord, so you should be able to see my screen
Yeah.
here. Just give me a second here. All right, and then I'm going to open up one of the games. I think this is game 2 that I want to look at here that we played. Oops.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's this one. So again, we'll take a look at and we'll take a look at the tools that I was using in particular and how I was kind of navigating the situations you're putting me in, and we can talk about
Yeah.
how that applies to like Kens in general, right? So in game 1, you did this same deal, right? Where you did a drive rush like stand heavy punch, except it whiffed, if you remember, right? So like you went forward,
Mhm.
I kind of just backed up and it whiffed. I don't mind necessarily being aggressive out of the gate here. You just have to be careful about what your opponent is doing. This is game 2, and I kind of have a sense that you wanted to be aggressive out of the gate here, so I just jump, right? Obviously, it doesn't lead to anything, but if you had done a heavy punch here, maybe this lands, right? Maybe you get stopped a little earlier, or you're stuck in recovery for a little bit longer, or something like that. But I just jumped over it, right? So again, I don't mind this in particular. It's just that you have to be careful about whiffing the button, right? If I had just backed up and you did that driver stand medium punch here,
Mhm.
or I guess this is a jab, right? The driver's jab. If this whiffs, I get a free whiff punish, right? So like if I don't do anything here,
Yeah.
right? Right. So like if I do a drive rush check, like Ken's drive rush check tends to be crouching medium punch. You can see I don't think I
Yeah.
even needed to move, right?
I like to think that the jab was a reaction to you not standing still.
Oh, like jumping. Maybe
Yeah.
that's true, right? Maybe that's the case because you went for the heavy punch the first game, so maybe that
Yeah.
I think that's probably more likely is that you saw me jump and then you maybe decided to press something else as you're coming through. And I think that's actually okay too. The it doesn't really result in anything for either of us. Kind of just
Yeah.
resets back to neutral. But you could also accomplish kind of the same thing by just standing here, right? Like walking forward. You don't have to commit to a drive rush in particular, right?
Mhm.
Because even if you had reacted with, even if you did something else, like because drive rush jab is probably the fastest thing you can do out of drive rush here, right? Because you're holding the button here for the jab. You
Yeah.
saw that I could just react with crouching medium punch, and it would have checked your drive rush from this distance, right? So,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, that means the option here, like, I guess what I'm trying to say here is that your option chosen here loses to more of the common options that your opponent could do defensively, right? They see the drive rush, they could react to it. Maybe they ODDP. If they're playing modern, maybe they could react with something, right? So, and then the upside here is that if I walk forward,
Yeah.
this is how I'm gonna hit, right? Right? Or if I
Mhm.
do a drive rush myself, right? So
Yeah.
like it beats an aggressive option for sure. So you're kind of rolling the dice there, but most player like the way I see it is that as you go up in rank, the
Yeah.
tendency of people to take high risks, like the tendency of people to take risks goes down, right? Meaning like people are
Yeah.
more risk averse, if that makes sense, right? So obviously a round start drive rush can be kind of risky if your opponent doesn't do anything, right? That you can get checked. So anyway, just want to
I've
point that out
noticed
because it's
that
yeah.
it does well against even players that are better than me.
Mhm.
My policy is I stop doing it once people start checking it.
And I think that's a perfectly
Until
viable
then, like,
strategy.
oh, I get to take space. Like, if they block the jab, even if I get nothing. I think the place where I was messing up is if I'm straight up whiffing heavy punch when you walk back. I think that's really bad.
Yeah, that one is tougher, right? That one's tougher to be like, oh, okay, you're gonna take a fat punish for this, right? For
Yeah.
that one anyway, typically. In this case here, if I check it, you'll take a medium button punish, right? Which is mostly crouching medium punch into like run DP for Ken in particular, for the most part, or drive rush, right? Maybe I put you in the corner, which is kind of bad too. But whiffing the heavy is definitely like something that most people will be able to whiff punish, right? Like that one, if you whiff it at that spacing you were whiffing it at in game one,
Yeah.
most people will be able to take advantage of it, right? So that one you have to definitely be careful about. If you are going to do that, you need to be standing a little bit closer so that you ensure that your button will hit me. Anyway, that was good right there, right? I try to do something, right? And I get hit for it. All right. All right. Yeah, we'll just let this go until something interesting happens. So this is good here. I did not recognize my own meter situation when I did the drive rush. So that's why it was a counter hit. I should just block, but it's okay. Get a hit. All right, so right here, right?
Yeah, yeah.
After this.
I tried to shimmy on the non-teching opponent.
Yeah, right. And I will say that I think going for a shimmy at first is not necessarily a bad thing, right? I don't know if it's obviously game two, but in general, it's generally not terrible, right? If you think about it,
Yeah.
because you get some information on your opponent, like are they teching, are they reversaling, are they waking up with a button, like what type of defensive situation or defensive option are they taking, right? Like that's really
Yeah.
the main reason why you want to shimmy early in the set, right? Now, obviously, I've basically been taking almost every throw, and I haven't been reversaling, right? So,
Yeah.
like, what that would mean for you is that in this situation here, you can take your Oki, right? Like, go
Yeah.
for pressure in this case, right? If you've gotten a read on your opponent that they are not doing those things. The other
Mhm.
half of this is that from this situation right here, so right after this DI,
Mhm.
you've already made the decision likely that the combo route you're going to take, right? Like meaning
Yeah.
exactly what you're going to press right after this, right? So that part's automatic. So what I would suggest is from there, take a look at the situation overall, right? Meter,
Yeah.
right? Health, super meter, all that stuff. Screen position,
Yeah.
right?
Are you trying to imply that because you were burnt out, I should have been more aggressive in trying to get you in the corner?
Potentially, right? Because I can't reversal you here anymore, right? Like look,
Yeah.
I can't reversal,
Yeah, that's
right?
that's that's tough. I didn't think about
Yeah.
that.
So like because of that, right? And because again the combo from here is automatic, right? So see how
Yeah.
long it takes for from here
Literally.
to recognize the situation, right? All right. So 84 on the timer,
Yeah.
right? You have like 4 in-game seconds. Maybe it's closer to like
Yeah.
5-6 seconds or whatever, like in real time because there's some delay from the cinematic or whatever. But that's a good amount of time to recognize the situation, right?
Yeah.
So in that case here, since I can't reversal, my defensive options become block, wake up button, wake up tech, delay tech, right? Really. Maybe
Yeah.
backdash, neutral jump, some other stuff. But like I definitely can't reversal you here in any situation, right? In any way. So like that's one of the things that I think I just wanted to point out because if I were able to, and then I was gonna go into something else here, but like this is the important thing is that if you recognize I can't do anything here, then applying
Yeah.
pressure here is a good thing, right? It's very low
Yeah.
risk for you to do that. Um,
Yeah.
and then the other half of that, as I go through three halves here, if you look at the overall health situation as well, right? I'm down to like half health. You have
Yeah.
basically full health here, right? Ken's ODDP does like 1700 damage. It doesn't do, it's not going to kill you, right?
Yeah.
So, like, even if I had meter, or if I go for reversal here, if I had level 1 or something like that, right? It's
Yeah.
not going to kill you, right? So, risk wise, if you go for Oki and I reversal you, big deal,
Hmm.
right? Like, you take some damage,
Yeah.
reset back to neutral. That's the end of the interaction, right? But the,
Yeah.
the plus side is that if I make a defensive mistake against your Oki, right? Maybe you do some sort of delay option or something like that to blow up, my defensive option, or you just throw me, even that, right?
Yeah.
You get some damage out of that, put me closer to death, basically, and
Hmm.
for the risk of taking some damage going to neutral, right? So now, if you are in kill range for a reversal, it's a totally different story, right? Now you have to really weigh that risk reward as like, do I want to flip that coin or not? But in this
Yeah.
situation here, it's kind of like, well, you're getting pretty good odds, right? In terms
Yeah.
of,
I mean, the coin flip here is kind of like, are you going to tech and get back most of your drive? You're like going to be like almost not burnt out,
mhm,
or like the other option is, and I think this is what you're pointing out is like if it's possible, you will take the throw. I don't need to end the round right now
mhm,
because of that huge advantage I have. I don't have to go for big damage to assure the win. Like if I just go for throw or if I just go for a medium, it might not kill like a shimmy would,
mhm,
but I have the entire rest of the round and all this health to like make that happen. And so like going for low damage in this situation is fine.
mhm.
Like I don't need to go for the big one. I think that's why I shimmy so much is because I'm like, whenever I get it, I'm like, oh, half their HP is gone. It
Yeah,
feels great.
yeah.
Um,
The dopamine hit is immediate. You deal a
yeah.
ton of damage, right? You get good screen position, all that. But like,
So if I have HP out, I can throw and like the victory is almost as assured.
yeah, because like realistically, the corner is like, I mean, I know you can see my mouse, but the corner is like a little bit further back here, right? I'm not that far
Yeah.
from being cornered overall. So one more throw here from Ed will probably put me in the corner, right? You don't necessarily get OT
Yeah.
without drive rush, but you can put me in the corner. And then that's like my chances of winning go down a lot if I'm in the corner burned out with no resources, right? Because like if that's the situation, right? Let's say
Yeah.
you say you throw me here, right?
Yeah.
Instead of shimmy, you just go for throw,
Hmm.
which I think it should be right. Like I'm in the corner now, 100%,
Yeah.
right? Like this is
Yeah.
a death sentence at most levels, right?
Yeah. I can drive
Yeah,
rush for a loop even. I
yeah,
have so
or
much
even go
drive.
for like you can drive rush for a DI here if you wanted to, right? I have to
Mm.
react or I have to commit to a super at that point, right? And that's really high risk for
Yeah.
me
I
because you
don't
could
think
just
I
drive
would
rush.
raw DI here though, because most people are looking for that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like the option exists, and therefore I
Yeah.
need to, as a defensive player, take that into account on my mental stack. And
Yeah.
every option that I have to think about means that something else can be likely to hit me, if that makes sense, right? Like it's hard to keep
Yeah.
track of everything that can hit me. And normally I'm like not as worried about DI in the corner because if I have DI, I can just react to it, and that's kind of like in my back pocket. But now I have to buffer something and react with super, right? And that's
Mm,
harder, right? I mean, I'm not a modern,
for
so
sure.
I don't get to have that luxury of the one frame, super, right? So I have to
Yeah.
do a little bit more, work a little bit harder for
That's
that.
why I like to, against classic opponents, I like to do a block string first
Mhm.
because that sort of like prevents them from buffering easily.
Yeah, yeah, it's scramble. You can potentially scramble their inputs or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Ken is kind of privileged here. I'll tell you that it's a Ken specific thing. Is that Ken's level
Mm.
1 is quarter circle back, so he gets to block
Oh.
and keeps mashing that, and he'll
Oh,
likely keep
okay.
blocking. Yeah, yeah. So
I
and
see.
especially against Ed without an overhead, it's very easy for me to mash that and just keep doing it. That's a Ken thing
Yeah.
though. Not everyone has that,
Okay.
right? Some people it's course go forward for level 1, whatever, right? So
That's actually good to know because I've been thinking of picking up Ken just to like learn classic on the side because
mhm.
it seems fun, and that seems like a really big plus.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing. Right? It's Ken privilege, if you will, right? So going
Yeah,
through
but
all of that.
it's also like halfway to modern privilege where it's like, Okay, yeah, you can just hold back and get the super buffer, which is nice.
Yeah, yeah. And you're in block stun. You keep mashing it. You'll continue blocking for the most part, right? Only one of those three inputs, if you will, directionally won't block, right? So
Yeah.
it's kind of a nice thing. So that all said, here's the situation, right? You shimmy, right, and go for a button here. I just like to block because I have no chance of really doing anything on wake up here, right?
Mm.
I try to jump. You DP me, which is good. And then here you shimmy again,
Shimmy the
right?
uh,
Except this time you kind of went for like a throw, I think, right? This is what this is,
yeah.
right? And
I gotta wait.
because the you weren't exactly meaty in terms of the walk up here. This is
No.
manually timed, right? So I'm kind of guessing. So it would look like you wanted to shimmy, so that's why I jabbed,
Yeah.
right? And it only
Yeah.
worked because you only got hit because the throw was a little bit off, right? You can see the frame meter here, down here, right? So
Oh.
defensive decision wise, I thought you were going for a shimmy. That's why I woke up with a jab, right, to try to beat that.
Yeah.
If your meaty timing was tighter, meaning this throw was actually meaty, you counter hit through me
Yeah.
here, right? So like
Yeah.
that would have worked. So defensive wise, I actually might have been wrong in terms of what you actually did, right?
But my
Um,
execution was off.
yeah, so your execution was off here a little bit, right? Not by much, but if you had gone for a throw, well, you're in recovery here actually. So you went for a throw basically immediately, right? So because you went for kill rush, right?
Hmm.
So after this, you go for kill rush. Oops.
Wish is interesting because you can actually act during the recovery frames during a certain portion of them.
Say
Pretty
again, sorry.
weird. The wish is weird because I'm not actually 100% on this, but it has an animation that continues unless you hold down or back.
Mm-hmm.
And in that scenario, I think it still marks you as in recovery, even though you can throw.
Oh, really?
Like you're still traveling forward from the movement from Kill Rush,
Oh, for
but there's
kill
a few
rush
frames. Yeah, where you can punch or throw during the end of Kill Rush.
from here. Okay, so from right here, if you hold the directional, I'd have to look into that. I'm not actually sure on that. But you should be able if I went for wake up throw here and you inputted the throw, it should tech.
Yeah.
You should be able to tech from here. But based on what the frame
Yeah.
meter is showing here, right, you're trying to walk up, and here's your throw. So
Yeah.
animation starting, right? And then I'm basically waking up as best I can with a jab anyway, right?
Yeah.
So, oh, sorry, I take that back. I'm totally wrong. Sorry, I take that completely back. You're player two here, right? So
Yeah.
here's my recovery.
Okay.
Here is your frame advantage,
Yeah,
right? So you're
I'm
actually
very much
done.
plus.
Yeah, so you're done right here, right?
Yeah.
And obviously you can't throw me because I'm still in recovery.
Yeah.
So here's your throw is here, my jab
Hmm.
is here, and they actually land on the same frame, but strike
Oh,
rate's
that's
are almost same.
unlucky.
Yeah. So I think like I take back what I was saying earlier in terms of
Yeah.
execution. I think it was actually almost okay. You were off by a little bit here, so it's
Yeah.
fine. It's just that I took a big risk here, woke up with a jab. But I did
Okay.
that because I thought you were gonna shimmy, right? So
Yeah.
I was trying to take that away from you. Take an option, take the turn back, if you will, here. So defensive decision wise, maybe this wasn't my best in terms of like, you know, watching my risk here, because if I take a counter hit here, I may die, right? It's kind of
Mm.
you can cash out and kill me. But I thought you were shimmying a second time, so that's why I did what I did here. Now you're on your end. I think like you just got to work. If you're gonna do a manual walk up like this, you just kind of have to
Yeah.
look, do a little lab work here to get that down. Right? I don't think it's not a huge
Yeah.
deal. I'm not gonna harp on the execution stuff too much here, but
Thank you.
defensive decision making wise, right? Decision making wise, you didn't want to. Well, in this case, you were going for a throw, so I guess taking Oki here is probably fine. You just missed the execution. But again, I thought you were going to shimmy, so it just worked out, and it was unlucky for you. All right, so here, right, this is an
Yeah.
interesting one here, right? So after you take the overhead here,
Yeah.
right? So this happens. What I had noticed is that you like to walk back, right? And this
Yeah.
happens to everybody. Like,
Mhm.
if you watch any of the previous episodes of this show, you'll see that I say this to everybody: is that from this situation right here, your brain is going, hell no, I want to get the hell out of this, right? I don't want
Mhm.
any of what Ken is going to do here. He may be burned out, but whatever. I don't want to be here, right?
And I'm also not thinking about teching because there's enough distance between me and you that I'm
Yeah, I
like,
can't
okay.
go for throw here, right? Well, I mean, I have to walk up and do it, and like if you react with anything, like I'm gonna die for that, right? So I can't really
Yeah.
do that, right? I can't shimmy you either necessarily, right? Because this is too far, I think. Like if I
Yeah.
walk forward and walk back, you'll likely press a button and kill me, or you do nothing, right? And whatever, right? But it's hard for me to shimmy you from here, I think.
Yeah.
Right. So anyway, so if you look how long it takes for me to actually press the button, right? So I'm in recovery right here, right? Here's the recovery.
Yeah.
Let's see the frames, right?
Yeah.
10, 11, 13-ish frames. So I wait a beat, right? And then I do a low forward. And when does it
Yeah.
tag you, right? Let's take a look. Right? 4 frames into your walk back, right? So what does
Mhm.
that mean, right? Basically what I was trying to do, and you were talking about watching your toes, right? Basically what I was trying to do was get a sense of when you want to move and then try to tag
Mhm.
you when you do that, right? So I was just kind of waiting, in my internal timer was going, okay, I think they're going to move now, press the button, right? And then it happens to
Yeah.
tag you. So a lot of times this is just a result of like not being used to standing your ground a little bit and blocking here, because I feel like
Yeah.
a lot of times there's kind of two things that happen for the most part. Is that from this situation right here, someone's gonna press
We
right
could
away.
have we could have had some Daigo neutral going here.
Yeah,
We could have just been crouch walking at each other.
yeah, doing the just stare down, right? That could have been a thing, and we were for a little bit, right, for a few frames here.
But you knew what I was gonna do.
I had to guess. I mean, obviously you can guess what I'm gonna do too, right?
Right, right,
But
right.
I think that in my situation right here, I want to be a little aggressive because I'm burned out, and the more aggressive I am here, the better chance of me getting my meter back, right?
Yeah.
So, at what from this situation right here, though, generally speaking, I think a lot of players, especially around 14, 1500, what happens is like they're kind of obsessed with playing the game quote unquote correctly, and I say this kind of a lot.
Mm.
And it's like, oh, I need to back up to a space where I can whiff punish you. Mashing is, scrubby, etc., right? So instead of like
Yeah.
trying to play to like take advantage of what someone's gonna do, a lot of times players just back off from each other, right? They're just kind of walk away
Yeah.
from each other, like, oh, well, I don't want, I don't want to press anything. I don't want to be scrubby and press because we're too close or whatever, or because it's not my
I could
turn
get
or whatever.
hit.
Yeah.
If I
So I'm like,
press, I could get hit.
exactly, right? Like in this case too, I'm plus here as well, right? Because I just hit you. So you're like, okay, well,
Yeah.
I can't press because I'm minus, even though 13 frames go by and you're no longer minus because you're back in neutral. In your head, you're like, oh, I was minus, so I can't press, and that would be scrubby if I did, right? So
Right.
instead, I want to back up into like a space where I can continue playing quote unquote neutral again, right? And me
Yeah.
being a Ken brained player, I'm like, well, I don't really care about playing fancy neutral with you. I just want to hit you. So I'm gonna wait until I think you're gonna move and then do a crouch medium kick, right? And that's what happens here.
Mm.
Now he gets his face back. So really, what this means is that if you're against an opponent that is trying to read your rhythm in terms of movement and they're clipping you with lows, a lot of times the solution is to just plant, right? Like wait,
Yeah.
block, right? Because if I do this on block, I'm gonna go into Jinrai, right? I have to buffer that. I can't hit confirm that, right? That's a buffer.
Okay.
So okay, and since I'm burned out, it's the only thing I can really do other than fireball potentially. But anyway,
Mm.
I'm buffering this, right? So now
Would
Ken
would
is
uh, would DI on reaction win against Fireball?
it will win against crouching medium kick. So if you DI
Yeah.
into the crouching medium kick,
I mean, like, if I see the medium kick, do I have time to press it against Jinrai?
oh, yeah, but you have to mash it after you block, right? So after
Oh,
this,
okay.
right
So
here,
if you get hit, it's just a combo,
yeah,
obviously.
yeah. So from right here, oh, wait,
But if I were to block it and then you were to do Fireball, would you recover in time to DI back in the
no, no,
hypothetical scenario? Okay.
no, not for Ken's fireball anyway.
So any buffered special is going to be unsafe if I block the kick.
Anything that makes sense for me to do, yeah. I mean, if I do like a crouching medium kick DP, I think I may get away with that because the meter goes up,
Yeah,
right?
I'm
Maybe it
I'm
whiffs,
just
but
trying to think through the mind game because
yeah,
this is like a really crucial part of the Ken matchup, I think, is like when are they going to cancel buttons? What can I do against those cancelable buttons?
yeah. How do you deal
And,
with like the
yeah,
Jinrai, right? Or in
obviously, I
general,
think I think all the cancelable crouching medium kicks, somebody told me this the other day, they're punishable. I don't know how punishable they are, but you want to cancel something, so you're going to be buffering.
yeah. Generally speaking, right? Generally speaking. So like
Yeah.
the layer one is I'm gonna cancel into a special because now the onus is on you to show me that you know how to deal with that, right?
Hmm.
So if you do, a DI into my crouching medium kick, or you DI after I'm
Yeah.
crouching medium kick, blow up my cancel. now what do I do as a response? Maybe I try to bait you, right? Maybe I just do crouching medium kick.
Mhm.
Or
Yeah.
maybe I wait until I have level 3, right? And then if I do a
Ah,
Genrai, I can blow up your DI with level 3, right? So like that starts to become more real of a, that's the next level, if you will, or the next layer, or the next
I
button to
deal
adjust
with
on.
people DIing my EX flicker all the time, and I still haven't gotten to the point where I can react with level 3. Even though I have modern, I just don't even think about it. It's like if they
Yeah.
DI and I EX flicker, it's free. Like,
Yeah. Every time,
I
right?
don't
You could
know.
just level 3 them and blow them up, right? So,
Yeah.
it's one of those things where, and it's just something that I've had to implement, is that when I commit to something, whatever that is, there's usually some sort of discrete set of outcomes, right? Like, if you take Jinrai for example here, when I do the Jinrai low, there's like an option where maybe I hit you originally and then I just go Jinrai low and I don't need to think about it anymore, right? Or
Yeah.
maybe you get counter hit because you press something and I knock you down. Okay, now I have to think about Oki, right? But during when I press the medium, like the low, the only thing I'm really looking for is if I can cancel level 3 or not, right? Because all the other outcomes, once they happen, there's not really much I can do afterwards. So I kind of
Yeah.
reduce my mental stack to like, do I need a super or not, right? On reaction
Mhm, mhm.
in that situation. Because it's kind of like when you throw somebody in the corner, right? Like when you
Yeah.
commit to the throw, there's not a whole lot you can do for the next 30 frames, right? Ish, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Either the throw hits and you throw them, or the throw whiffs and you have to react to that potentially, right? If they neutral
Yeah.
jump, you can anti-air them. If they backdash, maybe you block. If they reversal you, then you get hit, right? And you still can't do anything about that either, right? Or maybe they tech,
Yeah.
in which case there's still nothing you do about that, right? You go back to neutral. So like if you find a way to reduce your mental stack such that when you make these decisions, there's really only a couple of outcomes you need to worry about, it becomes easier to do these things, right? So that can help a lot when it comes to like, oh, I'm gonna do my EX flicker in this situation right here. If they go for DI, I'm
Yeah.
just gonna if I see DI, I'm going to level 3, right? And if I don't, then I get EX flicker. Maybe they perfect parry it, in which case it's whatever, right? Perfect parry flicker, that's it, right? Or maybe they just parry it, in which case I drag them, but they're not close enough for a throw anymore. Then I need to look at something else, or I hit them and I go into my combo, right? But like only one of those really requires you to react with level 3, right? The rest of them are kind of just open combos,
Yeah.
if that makes sense, right?
Of course. Yeah.
So anyway,
It's
uh,
something that I can be doing during the dead time when my combo is going on.
mm-hmm. And like we were saying, like there's these pockets of time where something is happening where you can take stock of the information the game is telling you, right? Like the information available to you.
Yeah.
Right. So here, obviously, I don't want to press because I might get DI'd, and I'm actually minus after the run Dragon Lash. I thought maybe you'd try to check me with a low or something, right?
I didn't know that was minus. That's different from the other Dragon Lashes.
It's it's different in the sense that like it comes from the run,
Yeah.
but it's minus. You can see it's pretty minus.
Is that just because you're closer, or is it because of the
Oh,
one
it's
that
because
comes
the
from
run Dragon Lash on block is minus. That's just how
it's
the
how
move is
minus
not
is it?
safe. Yeah, yeah.
How minus?
Let's see. Minus one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Minus 7, at
All right,
least.
cool. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So you can punish this. This is not a. This isn't real, right? I'm
Yeah,
making
I
a
can get
read
a
here.
full
Yeah.
medium punish for
Yeah,
me.
you get a full punish from this, right? This is not a. This is not a good thing for me to be doing, right? But I am testing to see if you're gonna check me with a button of some kind, right? So I'm taking a huge
Yeah.
risk here by doing this.
I
And
just thought Dragon Lash equals plus. This
the
is I'm
only so the only Dragon Lash that is actually plus on block is the
oh
heavy one. All the other ones are
really?
not. Yeah, all the other ones are
How
not.
did I not know this? Oh my god.
Because Ken's only ever do the heavy Dragon Lash. Right?
Oh, okay.
Right.
But that one's really slow. He's easy to recognize.
Yeah, but that's the only one that's plus, right? Like Ken doesn't really have. That is one thing else I'll bring up too is that Ken doesn't really have plus buttons, right? Like the best button he
Okay.
has is crouching medium punch, which is 0 on block. Everything else is
Hmm,
minus. So
okay.
it's hard for him to generate the advantage, right? Like plus from advantage. The only
Yeah.
moves that are plus that he has are the Dragon Lash, right? So if you do Dragon Lash, he's +1. And
Yeah.
I think that's kind of it, actually. I don't think he has anything else that's really plus. Uh, yeah, nothing else is plus on block.
The
So
heavy is only +1. Interesting.
yeah. So we can talk about that situation in particular as well. More in depth too, because +1 is an interesting situation overall. But there's a mix up there, but there are specific counters to it. So, at any
Yeah.
rate, I do this. You don't react. You don't do anything. So you could have gotten a full frame punish here. You don't, which is it's fine. That was kind of knowledge checky anyway. Like you had to know that that's the case. But really, I was just trying to see if you would check me with a low. Like a lot of eds from this situation right here,
Hmm.
right?
That's not even in my toolbook, to
Like
be
right here
honest.
on the run, they'll go for like a
Yeah.
crouching light kick, right? The
Don't
crouching.
have that move.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't have that
Modern
move.
doesn't have that?
That's the
Huh.
good button that he doesn't have.
Oh, okay. So that's on me for not knowing that, I guess. Because
I have
again, like,
crouching jab, which has like decent range and is 4 frames, and then I have crouching medium punch, which is 8 frames and has like meh range.
yeah, okay. So that's on me to not knowing that, right? I mean, ed matchup wise, this is a calculated risk on my part here because I do get a conversion if this hits like counter hit.
Yeah,
But you know, and the check button normally is the crouching like crouching medium or sorry crouching light kick, right? Which you
light
don't have,
kick.
so
Yeah,
is what it is. So anyway, from here, right, I don't want to press because if I press anything, I may get blown up by a DI or you know, whatever, right? I'm minus, so I can't press, and I get my meter back. So now if we
yeah.
take stock of the situation, right, I get my meter back. Super is at parity for the most part, right? We're both at level 1. Health wise, I'm a little behind, like a conversion, maybe half a conversion behind, something like that, right? Like a light, maybe a light from behind. And we're back in neutral, right? So now we have to go back to basically playing neutral again. So let's see what happens. Right. So here, like what
Mhm.
happens, right? So
I pressed on my minus frames.
yeah. So you press here, right? -1. And pressing on your minus frames isn't necessarily a bad thing, right? So we'll talk about
Yeah,
why in a second. But you try, what is it you actually tried to press though? So from here,
probably another medium, I would guess.
let's see, heavy,
Oh, heavy. All
yeah,
right.
right. So you're -1, and you
Yeah,
press what is essentially a 10 frame move, I think, right, or 9 frame, something like that. Like Ed's starting saying heavy punch is like 10
it's
frames or
10.
something, right?
Yeah.
So that effectively makes this an 11 frame move, and that's why I'm able to hit you with crouch medium kick, right? So the way that this works typically in like a -1 situation, right, is that if you
Hmm.
are going to try to steal the turn, you generally want to use a light button, right? So like a 4 framer, maybe even a 5 framer, depending on what tools you have available to you, right? The reason for that is because if I get greedy with my turn, right, in this case, you know, I
Yeah.
block the jab, I know you're minus, and I go for a 7 framer here, right?
This literally this situation right here
Mm-hmm.
is why I want to try playing Ken. Is because without crouching light kick, I have like my little stubby jabs and nothing else. Like my
Yeah,
my only button with any appreciable reward is like heavy punch, and like I always want to contest in these situations, and modern ed is just not built for it. And I'm like, I really want to be able to
yeah,
scramble like
yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah. And yeah, that's kind of why Ken does so well, I think, at some of these lower ranks as well, is because a lot of scramble situations end up, you know, happening. And Ken has
Mm,
good buttons to get himself out of those situations, right? He has good 7 frame, 6 frame buttons. They all reach kind of far. They're all cancelable,
yeah.
right? So like anything he does, there's a reward, even if it's on block, right? Technically, he spends 3 bars, drivers cancel plus frames mix up, right?
Mm,
But what I do want to emphasize here, generally speaking, is that the frame data kind of dictates what you can and can't do
yeah.
as a social construct. If that makes sense, right? So like,
Sure, sure, sure.
I press a 7 frame button here, right? And I'm only
Yeah.
+1. So if you had used the jab here, that actually stuffs the button, right? Like the
Right. Yeah.
correct thing, if you want to be like quote unquote correct about it, would be for me to
Mm,
take my turn back with a 4 frame or a 5 frame, right? I'm pretty sure a 4 frame would work
yeah.
better because if you continue pressing, I will counter hit it, right? So from here,
Hmm. Yeah.
if I press jab, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, if I wanted to be quote unquote technically correct here, I would press
Yeah.
jab here, right?
But it's a much lower reward.
Yeah,
It doesn't do anything if I don't press,
and it
you
doesn't
know.
reach, right? Is the more important thing here.
Yeah.
So because it's not point blank, right? If I look at the situation here, this is right after my
Yeah.
4 framer won't reach, right? And we saw me
Mm,
get counter hit actually by your standing. So like if I try to take my turn back with a 4 frame, which is quote unquote
yeah.
correct from the frame data perspective,
Yeah, it's not even correct because my buttons that are that frame data won't reach either. So
yeah,
like my fastest button is 8 frames there. So you can go ahead and press like a 9 frame if you want,
yeah,
and it would
yeah.
trade.
And that's why the frame data itself is only part of the equation, right? And that's
Yeah,
why when we talk about like people barring or taking their turn aggressively, stealing the turn, and all that, the spacing matters a lot too. So that's
yeah.
why I press a crouching medium kick here, because that's what's actually going to reach you, right? So I have to.
Yeah.
If I want to take my turn back, I have to do that, right? And I
This is
do.
my least favorite spacing in the entire game.
Yeah. And what's funny is that almost all of the neutral that happened where you kind of got blown up happened in this kind of spacing here, because you're
Yeah,
uncomfortable with it, right? You're like, oh, what are my options? What do I do? And then you kind of get hit
yeah,
because you're like, oh, I need to back up, or whatever, right? And think about this too, right? What do I crouch medium kick, right? So like,
yeah,
if you had backed up, if you had pressed a bigger button, I still win, right? Like if you decide to
yeah,
back up here, I hit you. You press the button here, counter hit you, right? So like, me
yeah.
pressing this covers a couple of the options that you could take if you wanted to, right?
I
And
think
I'm
I feel like I have to block or just jab, like you're saying.
Yeah, you block here. If you jabbed, let's see what happens, right? So if you jabbed, and I think Ed's modern jab is like auto, right? Let's see, what's my auto jab here?
You just crouch and press punch. That's what you want to do.
Okay, right. So you counter hit me out of that.
Yeah.
So what does that do though, if you think about it, right? So
Yeah, it's not a big win, but
no,
it prevents you from doing what you do.
exactly, right? You're discouraging me from taking my turn with a bigger button.
Yeah.
Now, is this the right thing to do? Maybe not right away, right? If you are minus and you notice me taking my turn back with kind of a bigger button, and the spacing allows you to press your foreframe, then you can do that to stop me and discourage me from doing that. So
I
now the
feel like I
next
would
turn,
do it if I really didn't want to eat the drive rush. Like if I wasn't willing to just walk.
yeah, yeah, and like again, it's a specific read, right? Because
Mhm.
if I were to turn the situation around a second time, and I see
Yeah.
you going for that jab, that would actually whiff if I do nothing, right? Like we saw the spacing
Mhm.
is that the jabs will whiff. I could do a delay button, or I could do something else, take my turn back
Yeah.
with a bigger button or something like that, or just wait and then try to wish punish you from there, right? Back up to a spacing where my button could hit, press it, and then get rewarded because you were trying to stop me from doing something else, right? So, like, is it a good defensive option right away? Probably not, right? But if you get a read on your opponent's tendencies in these situations, then it can be a good button, right? If you can discourage me from pressing that, then now in a -1 situation, you may actually be able to now do that stand heavy punch, and I have to block it because I don't want to
Yeah.
press anymore, right? So that's
Yeah.
like what's happening in the neutral, right? Um, the kind of other piece to this though is that your opponent has to be paying attention to that for that to work, and some people aren't, right? They're gonna press no
Yeah,
matter what,
I
right?
appreciate you helping me think more analytically about these situations
Yeah.
because I think I've been losing interest in the game partially because a lot of times it just kind of feels like a slot fest and there's nothing to do. But I
Hmm.
think, yeah, when both players are using their brain, it is kind of a game of like prediction in this case.
Yeah. I'm gathering data on what you like to do, and in this situation here, the current data set I had said crouch media kick will likely beat one of the options they do, right? And
Mhm.
that's what happened. Now, when you try to apply this to like someone that is not doing this sort of thinking, if you will, right? Maybe they just got off their work as salary man. They wanted to get into the game, press some buttons, have some fun, do that type of thing, right?
We have salary, man.
You know what I mean? Yeah, but it's like the guy that's just like I'm here for a good time, not a long time, right? I think
Word,
that's Sage Jam, right?
word.
It says that. You know, they're going to do whatever they're going to do, and they're going to do it. If that's the case, then your job is to identify what they're doing and to counter that, right?
Mhm.
So same thing, right? In terms of what we're thinking here, it's just that you may not have to go past that. You may have to adapt once, and then they lose the set because they refuse to change what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure you run into a Ken that will reversal you every time. No matter what the situation is, no matter what happened, they will wake up with an EXDP. And those
I've
Kens
met
become
that
very
guy.
easy to beat, right? Oh, you just knock them down, you do a delay button, or like you back off, shimmy, whatever, and they kill themselves. And that's
Mhm.
you identifying what they're doing and beating it, right? It's just that when you start getting higher level, it's just that the other player is now adapting to what you just did, and therefore you need to think a little bit more, right? And that's, I guess, the more interesting aspect of fighting games that gets only uncovered as you get higher in ranks when both players are trying to do this.
Yeah.
But I don't want to diminish the skill set of stopping the average ranked goblin, if you will. Not to discourage anyone from playing that way, because
Thank
play how you want to
you.
play, but you know, discouraging that, being able
I'm
to
very
beat
good
that.
at bop it. I'll have you know.
Right, and And again, that is a very valid way to play, right? I don't want to take anything away from the people that play like that because it's valid,
Yeah.
right? Like I may only win 45% of the time, but it's on you to not be part of that 45% that loses today, right? I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And if you beat me, I don't care, right? But
Hmm.
if I beat you, hooray, you're part of the 45% that lost to me today, right? So
Hmm.
anyway, get away with this here, right? Okay, situation. Now, you didn't tech really in these situations. I think I ate an anti-air every single time, so this is good on you to beat the shimmy there. Right, so this one, no, right? So this DI here was
Yeah.
late, right? So,
It was super late.
yeah. So, and I think it was a stand heavy punch too, right? So let me just make sure. Yeah, so there's no gap here, right?
There's no
So,
gap.
yeah,
Yeah.
so stand heavy punch into medium, there's no gap. So even if you're mashing DI here, it won't come out until after this, right? So the only one that you can DI is if it's off a crouching medium kick. There's a gap there. So you can mash,
Yeah. Okay.
or a turret combo. Turret combo and block also has a gap, right? So
Okay. Okay. Good.
so if you target combo, if a Ken does turret combo on block to you, you can mash DI, and if they cancel into anything, they'll get blown up by the DI, right? If they don't cancel, it's a little different. Then they're minus like 13 or something, so you can punish that. But if they do cancel anything other than OD Fireball, the DI is free there, right? And the reason OD Fireball works is because it's a true block string and it's -2, so it's safe on block. So Ken has to spend 2 bars to remain safe from that situation. A lot of Kens
Okay.
won't. They'll just roll the dice on you pressing something. So if you see target combo on block, DI it, right? Mash DI
Okay.
and if it doesn't come out right away because they cancel something safe, then you can stop mashing it and then press something else, right? Almost
Yeah.
everything that Ken does after that, it's going to be minus for him. So you can just take a turn back, right? The only safe
Mhm.
special technically is OD Fireball. Everything else is pretty minus, right? So
All right.
anyway, but yeah, from here though, because it's stand heavy punch, there's no gap, so you can't DI. So if the DI comes after, if you don't DI into the medium Jinrai, it's too late. Like I could have reacted to this with
Yeah.
a DI, right? Instead I went for a throw, so I thought you would not do anything.
Not do DI and wake
Yeah,
up.
but I
Yeah.
it worked out, right? So you see me right here, right? I'm trying to get a sense of when you want to move. I walk forward a little bit. Let's see, where was it? So right here,
Does it
right?
make sense to do what I'm doing where I just kind of like walk and block a little bit? I feel like I'm kind of rolling the dice on getting hit.
Yeah, so that makes sense to do as long as you're at a spacing where you can't get hit.
Hmm.
So here is actually pretty good,
Yeah.
right? Like you're walking, you're moving, this is fine. If you were, a little bit closer, then that is not as good, right? And that actually happened to you a couple of times in the first game where you were trying to weave in and out of my crouching medium kick range, but you were actually standing in crouching medium kick range, so you got hit. Right?
Okay.
So that's just a spacing thing, right? So as you get better at identifying spacing, you'll understand where it makes sense to do this kind of dance, right? So where you were standing here is actually fine, right? I actually whiff, like if you look here, right? Like that's
Yeah.
fine. But yeah, if you're standing too close, then yeah, that can be problematic. But from where you were here for crouching medium kick in particular, I think it's fine, right? Like
All right.
the strategy of moving back and forth is actually kind of fundamental to playing neutral. It's just that you have to be doing it at a spacing that makes sense, if you will, right? So like from here, I
Yeah.
think it makes sense to try to weave in and out because you're trying to induce me to press a button, right? But
Yeah.
what you see a lot is that people are standing three-quarter screen, and then they're moving back and forth. And a lot of that, it's like, what are you doing? Right? Like, why are you doing that? And it's
Yeah,
because you
that
see
is
high
weird.
level players do that all the time, right? You watch Capcom Cup, like 90% of the game is this, right? They're moving back and forth in these ranges, but they're moving back and forth in ranges that can actually mean something. It can make something happen, right? It's
Yeah.
like right here, you actually do a good job here, right? So I'm trying to hit you with my crouching medium kick. I walk forward, I plant, expecting you to move forward and back up again, right? Because that's what you had been doing. And you don't do that. Instead, you just back up and this whiffs, right? So now what you should be paying attention to if you want to go next level here is that what was the spacing that induced Juzzy to press this button? Okay.
Ah.
Where was I standing and what was I doing that made him press this, right? Or made him want to press this? So you
Okay.
can see like the spacing that you were standing at right here, right? Makes me want to press that button. Or in your head, you're like, oh, Juzzy's going to press if I move in and out of this space.
Yeah.
And then bam,
I've,
whiff
I've,
punish.
I've thought about this in certain matchups
Mm-hmm.
where I'm like, I'll try to get people to do it. I have not been able to so far. I have not been able to.
Induce whiffs and stuff.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, if I walk here, maybe they'll press, but I have not. You know what? Maybe that should be my motivation to keep playing the game right now. Is I still haven't been able to make somebody whiff.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so we can talk about that a little more in terms of
Yeah,
how we get there. Let's get through the
that's
round and then we
okay.
can talk about that. Let's see what
Yeah,
happens the rest of this. Oh, there's the whiff punish, right? So what I was doing here, same thing, right? I didn't actually need to like, whiff punish on reaction or induce a whiff or anything like that. What happened here was I just backed up and then saw
yeah,
this, right? And I was like, oh, okay. And if you look, my reaction time is fairly reasonable. I think this is 9 plus 4 is 13 or 12 frames or whatever this is. Or it's 10,
yeah,
sorry. 10, 11, 12, yeah. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Like 20 frames, right? Like that's
yeah.
well within reaction time for almost everybody that plays this game, right? 20 frames plus, that's plenty of time to react, right? As long as you're ready. So I was just outside of your range. I see the button and I pressed, right? This wasn't like some crazy, super fast reaction or prediction. It was me recognizing the whiff and pressing it in a reasonable amount of time, right? And then the move itself having enough recovery where my crouching immune kick is able to land, right? So, and then, yeah. So, that said, in terms of people that don't want to press, right? So we can talk about it a little more because I think that's probably more interesting to you. So have you seen the Footsie's Trilemma, the video by High Fight a while back? They put it out a while back, but are you familiar with that concept at all?
Um, I think so. It's kind of a translation of the idea where you have keep out moves, you have so you have moves that are sort of like preempting your
Mm-hmm.
opponent who wants to move in.
Mm-hmm.
You have offensive moves that move you in,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have reactive moves that respond to your opponent doing something.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah,
right?
that's about right. Yeah. So like, if I were to put us in this situation right here, right, like round start, right, and I want to
Yeah,
hit you with something, I have to walk up and press my button, right? More
yeah,
importantly, I have to walk up to a range where my button can hit you, and then press you,
yeah.
right? And that's like the
You
hit
have to
attack.
move
Yep.
offensively, and then I
Yep.
can use a keep out move on that,
Yep.
but then you could use a reactive move to whiff punish that.
Exactly. Right. And then it goes all for a circle, right? If I'm only looking for a way to react to something, like if I'm only looking for whiff
Yeah.
punishes, then
Then
it
I
can walk
could
forward and hit me.
move in.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So like inducing whiffs is understanding which one of those roles you're playing in that particular moment and being able to apply the counter to what your opponent's role is, if that makes sense, right? So like if my
Okay.
opponent does nothing but walk forward and hit buttons,
Yeah.
then all I need to do is recognize, oh, they want to walk forward and press, and then just press my, in Ed's case, superior button, right?
Yeah.
And hit me, right? Because you can outrange anything I do.
So easy.
Yeah. I mean, theoretically speaking, right? But
Yeah.
not everyone's doing that, right? Some people are like, okay, now that they are reacting to that, now I'm going to look for a whiff punish when I walk in and out of that range, right? And then
Yeah.
now, if I'm only looking for whiff punishes, now it's Ed's opportunity to walk forward and press, right? Because I'm not willing to. I'm trying to induce a whiff from you, and you can walk forward as I walk back. And typically, for most characters, even like slightly slower ones, like Ed, their forward walk speed is going to be at least as fast as my back walk speed, maybe even a little faster, right? So you can cover the
Yeah.
ground a little bit more, and then you can press the button, right?
Mhm.
It's really hard though because a lot of this depends on your ability to gauge the space between the characters, right? So like seeing here where we're standing and then
Uh-huh.
understanding like, oh, I have XYZ buttons available to me. If I walk forward for a few frames, then I can do this or all that stuff. And then the other half of that is like not only recognizing space, but recognizing the rate at which it's changing, right? So it sounds like
Uh,
you want to talk more about this in general, or sorry, in depth. So I'll go into it now. If you think about the space between the characters here, right? There obviously is a set of options where we can hit each other and a set of options where we can't hit each other, right? From this spacing here, the only things we can probably hit each other meaningfully is with fireballs, right? Like as a move, right? Maybe you can drive rush, whatever, but if we're just talking about buttons, fireballs,
yeah.
right? So if you start walking forward, like let's say you as the Ed walk forward
Yeah.
here, the options change, right? Now it's like, oh, I can hit with flickers, I can hit with like my flicker buttons, right? The kick buttons.
Hmm.
Then as you get closer, it becomes like punch buttons, right? The thing is though, is that the space between the characters can change at different rates, right? So like if I'm standing still and you walk forward, the space will close at a specific rate. And similarly, if you walk back, it will expand at a specific rate. Now, if both players are moving, that rate changes, right? So like if we're both moving at each other, that space closes faster than it would if either only one of us was. And
If we
similarly,
both
if we're
held
walking back.
forward right now, we could both probably hit stand heavy punch.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like the options we both have as we move closer to each other change, right? Like
Yeah.
both of us can do different things, right? But the other piece to that is that I can also rapidly and immediately change the rate at which that space is increasing or decreasing, right? So if I walk forward and then walk back, all of a sudden that space changes a good amount, right? And a lot of times that changing of the space is the difference between your stand heavy punch hitting and your stand heavy punch whiffing, right?
Right.
And like the ability to manipulate that space and understand how it's changing in that scenario is how you kind of play the neutral and understand what buttons to press, right? And the idea, of
Yeah.
course, being that you never want to whiff, right? So if you have a good sense of how fast things can change, like in terms of the space between, that's a good thing. Although you can't always predict it, right? Because I can change my direction. There's no like, wind up time or anything like that for the most part. As soon as I press back, Ken will start walking back. There's no acceleration. He moves at a specific rate immediately, right? So
Yeah.
like you have to kind of understand how that space can get manipulated between the characters, and then understand that hey, if I walk forward, am I at a spacing now that can hit or not, right? And then as you continue going through that, the next piece is okay. Now am I at a space that induces a response from my opponent, right? Like because again, they're doing the same thing you are. Ideally, is they're like, oh, I'm watching the spacing, I'm watching when I can press buttons and all that. And like I was saying, is that if I can make it look like I'm close enough or you're close enough to press a button and move out of the way of that, I can land a whiff punish, right? But of course, that depends on your ability to make it look like I'm close enough, you're close enough to hit me, or a threat enough that I want to press a button, right? So
Yeah.
like that is what's happening at like a lot of these higher level games where that's what's occurring between the characters, and that's why they're dancing in these ranges where it's like, are you going to press a button? Are you not? Is it going to whiff or not? Am I standing in the right space or not? Right? And I think that's more. I think that's kind of more interesting from a gameplay perspective than oh, I'm just gonna charge flicker, and if you play rock paper scissors wrong, I'm gonna hit you with a million damage combo, right? So, but yeah, I just want to bring that up because it sounds like that's one of the things you wanted to talk about is how do I induce that from people, right? So, anyway, I hope that was
Yeah.
helpful. I talk about this a lot because it's probably the most interesting thing for me personally is how that
Yeah.
manipulation of space happens and the reaction from an opponent, right? So like when
To
I
be
walk
honest,
into a space,
I don't
what
think those
happens?
are the reasons that I can't do it. I think the reason I can't do it is because like most of the time I'm playing first to two.
Gotcha. So I will say that it happens a lot in first to twos, at least maybe even higher than this, I think. Like 1700, I don't
Yeah.
think it happens as much. But maybe a little more. I'm not sure. But, you know,
You can get people to whiff by just like generally knowing what their moves range are, like what character they're playing.
mhm. And you have to make an assumption of the type of player they are based on very little information, right?
Yeah.
So like, and you saw me do it, right? Like when we were playing the first two games, I had to make an assumption on when you would move, and I just went for it, right?
Yeah.
And it ended up being correct. But again, that's like an assumption that I made, and from like all the experience that I've had playing the game, right? Like it's just I'm gonna guess that this is gonna work, and it works out.
Yeah.
But you know, part of it, even in a first to two, even in a first to one, is identifying what kind of player you're playing against, and then applying, your offense against that, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of times too, like, and I hate to say it this way, but a lot of times people don't recognize that's happening, right? They don't recognize the mind game inside here. They don't recognize what's actually occurring in terms of like, oh, what are you doing, moving back and forth and all that. They don't recognize that. They're just like, I'm gonna walk in, press my button, or I'm gonna drive rush. In which case, you can't play any of that because you're not in that situation. So,
Yeah.
yeah. In those situations though, now your job is check drive rush, right? Check jump ins, that type of thing. So anyway, so you won this round. So let's see what happened here, right? Right. Take the
I think
throw.
every time I won, I was doing flicker nonsense, but let's find out how I got there.
Yeah. You won, yeah. The rounds in game you won was because I had to guess in the corner against Ed's flicker, right? And that's strong. Don't get me wrong. If I
Yeah.
can't deal with that, keep doing that. No matter what this MR is on your opponent, keep doing it, right?
Yeah.
There's one whiff, unfortunate. So what happened here, right? Let's take a look. So I throw you here. Right. So right here, right? The reason I picked this game, and I think I said it on stream, is that this is one of those situations where it's a bit of a space trap here, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm intentionally, the string I chose here intentionally leaves me far enough where your heavy, like your mediums and heavies won't reach, right? If you did a
That's
flicker here, like a crouching, like a stand medium kick or something, that's gonna reach because Ed has that ability. But I'd be blocking if that happened, right? So I'm trying to induce a whiff from you here. So the only reason I bring this up is because you do have to be careful. And this is one of the ways that I got you a couple of times was you would try to take your turn back after blocking light string, and I was spaced out enough where this would whiff, right? Like it doesn't look
Yeah.
like it, right? From right here, after this, it looks like
Right.
your stand heavy because your stand heavy punch is gonna hit me, right? Like,
Yeah.
but it doesn't, right?
You just
Like,
walk back.
yeah. And because there's
That's
no
sad.
proximity block on your stand heavy punch from that space, I'm able to back up, right? So
Do you have proxy block on your stand heavy punch?
I don't think so. Uh,
Okay.
well, if it is, it's got to be
Also
really
weak.
close. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not reasonable. It's not anything to like be concerned about, right? It's not like previous patch reuse. What do you call
Yes.
it? For
Solar
solar
plexus.
plexus, right? So anyway, yeah, you just got to be careful here, right? So watch the spacing. Make sure if you now maybe you didn't know, or maybe it looked like because it does look like I'm gonna hit you, right? Like
Can we jump in and have me do stand medium kick there?
yeah,
Is that all right?
yeah. Let's
All
see.
right.
So after you block this, right? So from right here, make sure I give no space. Hold on. So I don't need
I think
auto,
it's the
right?
button that would normally just be auto plus medium punch. Yeah. Or just not auto, but there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So that would work. I mean, it's on
Yeah.
block. So if you did like a drive rush behind that, obviously I have
There's
to do
there's
a mix up.
actually no reason for me not to press it other than greed.
Yeah.
Like it literally is it's a better button at that point.
Yeah. The only thing would be that if I go into something else, let's see, hold on one second here. Just want to make sure I'm doing this right. I just want to make sure that I'm not misstating this. Right. Okay. So the only thing is that the flicker itself is kind of a longer startup, right? It's 10 frames. So if I
The
sense
same
that
as
you
the
want,
heavy.
oh yeah, but the range is longer, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So if I do a fourth light there in that
Yeah.
situation, right? It would counter hit your stand medium kick, right? Because it's 10 frames.
Yeah.
So if I do like a stand light kick that's like 5 frames, even though I'm -1, still comes down 6 frames, and it counter hits you, right? So like I have to commit to a fourth button there to stop you from doing that, and that would actually work even if I did it from here, right? So
Yeah.
sorry, one sec. Make sure I get the right. Right, so from here. So if I commit it to a fourth button, right? If I mash it, I'm going to counter hit by whatever you press here. In this case,
That's
it's
what I was
because of duration,
hoping. I was hoping that would happen.
right? Something like that. But if I delay a little bit, right, that happens. And if I don't take any risk, that happens, right? So like, if I get a sense that you want to use your flicker buttons at longer range to take your turn back, I could change what I'm doing offensively, right? Or I could just take the mix up,
Yeah.
right? I let you burn 3 bars, try to get out of the corner. Maybe I OD DP like a
And
DP
why
OS.
does Edward look like a space alien in this still?
Like he's looking up, and like the angle that he's at gives him the
His
ET look.
cranium just looks misshapen.
It's funny, totally tangent here, but like going through these replay reviews and all that stuff, like some of
Yeah.
the intermediate frames like that are happening here just look hilarious. Like some of the Cammy frames as she's like in the middle
Yeah.
of getting hit or like doing stuff, it just looks absurd. Like I'm sure
Is it-
it looks totally fine and great, like full speed, obviously, because these are like intermediate frames or whatever that really aren't meant to be looked
Because
at.
his hair is flying up, he just looks bald.
But like the physics here is that for whatever reason, the top of his hair is like glued, right? Like the only part that's moving
Yeah.
is like the side right here. So
Yeah.
anyway, but yeah, I mean, again, like if you wanted to use the stand medium kick there, you could, right? And like if I get a sense
Yeah.
that you want to do that, then maybe I change my offensive sequencing, right? Like I change what I'm doing here. Like maybe I do a different string that doesn't allow, like that leaves me a little bit closer so that I can hit that fourth light that will, potentially stop you here, right? Maybe. Like I could, I could change my offensive sequencing based on that. But like I think you're onto something there by pressing a button that won't whiff. This situation doesn't happen to you, right? Now,
Yeah.
since this was max range, I don't get the follow up here, unfortunately. Like I should have just did a run DP, but
Yeah.
whatever. All right, so right there, right? What happened? How did you hit me? Right? Let's see. So I press my button here, and you're able to just counter hit me, right? Out of the startup of whatever I'm doing. So you just block that. I'm minus. I wait a little bit. Now we're neutral. Now you're pressing your button, and I press my crouching kick late, right? I was trying to buffer into a Jin right here, and you beat me. So it's good. All right, good throw. So now you're taking Oki here by taking the throw. You're taking the
Mm.
what I'm giving you here, right? So
Yeah.
hopefully this induces me to tech at some point. We'll see.
I don't think I got a single tech off. If we run the setback, I hope I can get you a tech.
Yeah. You just got to throw me enough, right? So here, how'd you hit me, right? I think it was just a good old-fashioned counter hit. Oh. Nope, you hit me while I was crouching. Or moving forward. So this is good, right? Like, I walk forward. And you hit me, right? Now, I'm a little close, but it's okay. You caught me moving forward. Hit me with a crouching heavy kick. Good. All right, now I'm in the
I think
blood.
I burned the super here.
I think this is fine in terms of spend, right? If you look at your meter situation and all that. Like, the way I see it is that, like, you're down a round and you're down some meter. So, like, you can't take this with you if you die this round, right? So you might as well spend it.
Yeah. Plus, I kind of like the Oki situation after this because I get this kind of ambiguous medium flicker that sometimes people don't know how to respond to.
Yeah, I end up pairing here, and instead of doing a drive rush or, like, whatever, I get thrown, and you get me.
Yeah.
Right, so that's perfectly played, right? I would have done the super the same way, and your Oki situation existed, and you did it, right? So, like, if we look at that round and how you won it overall, right? So, like, you were kind of in a tough situation right here, but you land two good conversions. There's one, a throw, and then there's the crouching heavy kick that hits me. Right there. Give him a super. And then Oki, right? So, like, you had to just win basically two neutral interactions, right? And then you won two Oki situations and you beat me, right? And then that's all it took, right? And then in previous games, you were not taking those Oki situations. So, what that means is that you have to win more neutral interactions, right? And if you look at the overall number of neutral interactions, it's more likely that I probably won more of them overall over the whole set, right? But like you can see here is that if you string together a couple of good offensive sequences, you can beat anybody, right? Like, if I have to guess, it doesn't matter how good my neutral is or how godlike my reactions are. If I'm guessing on Oki, right, and I'm wrong, I'm gonna take damage, right? I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
So, and then you get me here, right? So, it's good stuff. So the last round here. All right, so what happened here, right? I jumped into a space where you wanted to press stand heavy punch.
I want to say something really quick is that I am guaranteed I have to leave in 30 minutes.
Okay, yeah, we'll speed it up. Yeah.
No, it's fine. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no. Thanks for telling me. Otherwise, I'll talk forever otherwise. But anyway, we'll go through this and maybe we can just run it back after. We want to look at the other replay, I think. But anyway.
Okay.
But yeah, here, right? I think I have a sense of when you want to press the heavy punch, so I just kind of go for it. Ken Oki here. Right, so this Oki situation right here, if you're not aware, if you block the
overhead.
Yeah, the overhead here, right? So from right here, the run, if he does the run stop, he's +5, right? So he can go into a low. He can go to overhead here, you have to react to it, or he can do a run stop into throw, right? All those things are real, so you do have to just react to this, right? So what most people do is they'll delay tech from here, right? So you need to stand block if you see this, overhead. Otherwise, delay tech potentially, right? But it's up to you.
You,
Most people
you
will just
you
pause
can't
you.
you can't shimmy in this situation.
No, I can't. Right? I have to neutral jump for that because he's too close. Now, like, there is kind of a one that's not a little bit awkward, but it's a backdash. So if I go for the run stop into backdash and you do like a pretty delayed tech, like that can
Yeah.
shimmy, or a
Okay.
neutral jump that can also beat it. But if you do nothing in both those situations, you can punish me, right?
All
So,
right.
a lot of people will just elect to take the throw here. So block high into low, so you don't get hit the low. Take the throw, and if I neutral jump or backdash, you punish that accordingly, right? So you can catch
All
the
right.
backdash or DP the jump, right? So unfortunately, I get a conversion from this, and then you go for reversal here, which is good, right? Because I've been going for a bunch of meaties, so overextend a little bit is good. There's the whiff.
Okay. I swear to God, I would not do that 9 times out of 10. That's really bad. I know.
It seems like it'll hit.
No, it doesn't. It's actually too short. Like, if you literally just stand still, it whips, so it's not good.
Yeah, I'm not moving, right? If I don't move at all here,
Yeah.
even.
What are you gonna do? Walk forward, immediately press on your wake up while I'm drive rushing at you?
Yeah,
It's not good.
this is not real, right? There's
I
no,
could I could crouch heavy kick perhaps and like slide at you if I did it earlier in the drive rush,
Mhm.
but that's like the price of a meaty. I don't know if it's really worth it. I probably just maybe next time I'll walk forward and charge flicker. That's what
Yeah.
I'll do.
So like, and that's kind of more in line with what I think most people do because a lot of times ODDP Oki is not real, right? Even Ken's, like if
Yeah.
Ken does an ODDP, his drive rush into stand heavy punch is not real. You can actually jab him out of that most of the time.
Yeah.
So like, there's no reason for you to drive rush here because you can accomplish something like you said, walk forward, charge flicker. Right? You don't even need to drive rush, just dash or even kill rush. Right?
Yeah.
Like all those things will leave you plus in some capacity. So, but yeah, that was getting you a lot here. So I go for super here, obviously to make the meter a little bit more in my favor, and put you a guess away from dying. Right? So guess your game
Right.
situation now. So. And then you go
Ooh,
for. It looks like a DP. I
that
think
was
you want your fireball.
I think it was supposed to be just heavy punch or
Oh,
something.
you
No,
accidentally
it was
inputted
supposed to
it.
be crouch heavy punch. It was supposed to be crouch heavy kick. You know,
Oh,
the
okay,
big
okay. It's
kicker
supposed to be
throw.
the heavy kick. Yeah, for
Yeah, just messy inputs.
yeah, and then it gave you a DP because SF6 likes to give you a DP, right? And then I just like, oh, okay.
I wasn't even pressing forward. Oh.
Well, let's see. Did you get the DP input? There's the forward. There's the down.
Oh,
There's down
yeah,
forward.
the
Yeah,
forward.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's SF6's input reader. It's very lenient if you want a DP, but if you don't want DP, it's too lenient, right? So anyway, that's how it goes. So like, what I would say is that if I were to give you like something to work through now, really,
Yeah.
the biggest things would be number one is watch your spacing, right? Make sure you don't whiff, right? Make sure that
Mhm.
you are standing at spacings that make sense to press the buttons. And then
Okay.
the second thing would be for you to take Oki more often
Mhm.
if you sense your opponent is not reversing, right? So like if you get a read on what your opponent is doing defensively, then you can take Oki, right? Like do it. Because you saw again, like if you took Oki and won it, right? The
Yeah.
reward is I die, and the risk is you take an ODDP that won't kill you, right? So anyway.
Mhm.
Cool. So I know you have a hard stop, so you want to just run it back?
I would love
All
to.
right.
You have to invite me again because I got kicked.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
For,
Yeah. Let me
yeah.
create the room.
So will we be deafened again when
No,
we
no,
run
we'll leave
this?
the mics on because it's funny.
All right. Sounds good.
More interesting. Oh wait, that's the wrong spark. Whoops. Some guy from China may show up. Let's see. There was another. I mean, yeah. I mean, I know you guys in chat saw. There's another spark with those Ed. I just went for it. Okay. So yeah, just try not to whiff buttons. Really, I think that's really the main thing. And then again,
Do
don't
my
be afraid
best
to take
job.
Oki. Now that I said that, I may reversal more, but that's on you to figure
Right.
out.
What if
Whatever.
you just reversal every time? You turn it the other end.
I mean, if
There's the
you're
nice Ken, and then there's
yeah,
the evil Wi-Fi Ken.
the Brazilian Kens.
Yeah. I'm hearing your game through your speaker.
Oh, you
This
are.
is like less than ideal.
Oh,
But whatever, it doesn't matter.
okay. I
You
can.
want to just play it out?
All right. I can turn off screen share. I think is what it is.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
still watching a stream. All right, let's finish the round.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Oh. Oh! Alright, let me turn off screen share. So you
Okay, I
don't,
got it.
yeah, there you go. Oh. Oh, sick.
Oh no.
Oh! A Jarvis should have come out. Oh, man. But you can see that the neutral is getting a little bit easier for you, right? If you don't just back up right away, I can't do anything. I just have to keep pressing buttons. Ah, nice. Oh,
That's fucked up. Bad.
no DP on my side. Nice, nice. Do you get the new routes from that happened this patch on Modern?
Yes.
Oh, okay,
I think they're mostly punish counter routes or just routes that you get off of heavy kick in the first place.
gotcha. Nice. Oh, I think I'm in trouble here. In my trouble, I mean dead. Good stuff. See? Take more Oki. Now I'm delay teching, right?
Yeah. Glad. Oh no, the
Oh,
wishbone.
not that one.
Latora was trying to get me to stop doing them. Nice.
Finally hit a crosscut today.
Yeah.
Hmm. Nice. Oh, that's tough to deal with though. Junior Ryan burnout. That's a tall order. Uh oh. Oh, got
I
away with
walked
one
back
there.
again.
Yeah, but I mean, I know the way it's going right now, but like I feel like in neutral, because you're not trying to move as much and you're being a little more cognizant about spacing, it's getting harder for me to open you up.
Hmm.
Nice. Oh, oh, that was nice. That was nice.
Okay, you checked it. Now stop my activities.
Hey, I have to earn it still, right? I gotta earn like everyone else. Oh, my attack was too early.
No. Oh, no punish. God,
Oh, that was sick. That was sick. That was awesome.
thank you.
Yeah, it's pretty good, right? And you can see like the power of not whiffing, right? Like
Yeah,
if you don't whiff,
yeah.
all of a sudden it's harder to lose for whatever reason, you know?
Hmm. How does that happen?
Oh,
Oh, I was missing, but
oh, well, that was nice. Oh, I thought it would cross up. Oh, that was sick, man. I should have saw that coming. Whew. Oh, uh oh.
ah,
I was not ready. Sick. So, yeah, no, that was good. So you saw like, uh, if you actually took Oki, went for throws, right, went for that type of stuff, you actually induced me to delay tech, right?
yeah,
So when you weren't doing that, I had no reason to delay tech at all, and that
yeah.
closed off a lot of that stuff, right? So obviously I wasn't reversaling and doing other stuff, but like, you can see like, even if I'm, even subconsciously, I have to like consider that option now, right? If you're
Uh-huh.
taking Oki. So anyway, cool, man. Hopefully that was helpful. I know it wasn't like super Ken specific overall. The only other thing that I would want to bring up would be like Dragon Lash being +1, but we could talk about that another time. But yeah, I don't know. Is there anything else you wanted to ask or talk about before we call it a night?
I think it helped a lot. I was just gonna wonder if you knew any good videos that just basically tell you everything about Jinrai.
Oh,
Um,
I did
yeah.
make one actually, so I'll send it to you
Oh, all right, that'd
after.
be sick. Thank
Covers
you.
everything. Well, covers most things. I think there are probably some, maybe esoteric options that might exist out there, but it covers most things that should work for most characters. So yeah, I'll send it to you.
Awesome. Thanks.
Jinrai, I think it's mostly solved at this point. In terms of the options you have, it's not like super new. It's just you have to lab some of it, unfortunately. Like you have to be ready for situation, right? So yeah,
Right. I would really love like option select for that.
yeah. There are a couple that exist.
'Cause
It's just that.
I can't do my DP too slow.
Mhm. Oh
So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. The unless you have a read, right? There's probably been plenty of times where you ODDP'd against a medium Jinrai and it got blocked, right? Because
Mm,
DP is a little bit slow. Yeah, there are a couple of option selects that do exist. The only thing is the downside is that you eat a lot of drive for it, right? So that's the
yeah.
downside. But
Okay.
yeah, there's some stuff out there that you can look at, and you just have to lab. But again, there are Ken can always adjust as well, right? So take a look at it. I'll send it to you after stream. Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you
yeah,
very much.
cool. Anything else before we call it there? Hopefully this is helpful. I know we kind of covered a lot, but hopefully it was more interesting than not.
I think it was. I think this is the kind of thing I want to do more of. I've been thinking about going in the general and asking like people to run longer sets with
Mm-hmm.
me. Because I mean I enjoy doing like a first to five, first to 10, but like I think it's when I really get to know another player that I sort of, and I think we only played two game or like two sets of three, but
Mm-hmm.
at the same time we had this conversation that I think you can almost approximate it if you just play enough games against somebody. You understand what they know and they understand what you know. And so I don't know. That's
Yeah,
something that I want to do more of.
yeah. The longer sets definitely allow you to explore more of those layers, if you will, and further adjustments. It just depends on what
Yeah.
you're really looking for, right? Because like most tournament sets are going to be first to two, first to three. I know BLKO is first to five, which is kind of an exception, but there's a good reason for that, and that's why it's so cool. And those longer sets are good, right? They allow you
Yeah.
to adapt more. You get more consistent. It's like more consistent overall in terms of who's maybe the better player that day or whatever. It's kind of like in poker, right? If you run it at the end, if you hold them, whatever, you run it multiple times after to try to negate some of the volatility. But yeah, it both of those are skill sets that I think people need to develop. It's not just like, oh, I can beat people in first to 10, but if I lose the first to two, I'm out of bracket, right? And that may
Yeah.
not be the goal you want there. So, but yeah, cool, man. Yeah, no, I'm super impressed with how you're able to adjust to the spacing thing. Like once you saw how kind of blatant the whiffs were, they stopped,
Yeah.
right, for the most part.
Hmm.
Sometimes I was able to do some whiff punish, but it is what it is. Cool, man. Yeah. So if nothing else, I'll let you go. Yeah, and I'll just say
Thank
hi
you.
shortly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's really great. I've never done the coaching thing before, so I appreciate it.
cool. All right, man.
Wait, no, I did a Satori like 7 months ago.
Yeah, a
All right,
while
never mind.
back, I think. A while back, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah,
All
cool,
right,
man.
man.
So yeah, I'm around if you have any questions. But otherwise, thanks for coming on. Have a good night.
Appreciate it. Have a good night.
Yeah, thanks for watching, folks. Balix, if you're still here, appreciate you chiming in. Yeah, sit down and shut up. I run this through the Fight Rise Discord. So Fight Rise is a fighting community focused on fighting games, Street Fighter 6 mostly. They do bi-weekly events through their One Fight Stand series. I think there's one, is it this week? Maybe next week. I don't remember exactly, but there's one coming up. Put that in the Discord here. So basically, 7 round Swiss. So they have an upper and lower bracket. So if you are above certain MR, below certain MR, so they'll try to get you into a MR range that makes sense. For you to have some competitive matches, it is Swiss 7 rounds, so you end up playing a good amount of sets. Even if you maybe you're new to the game or whatever. It's a good time. You get to meet the folks that are in the community and have good games, right? They also do community showcase events through their Urge to Fight series. There might be one coming up soon. I don't exactly remember when. I would imagine so anyway. It's been a little while. Where they do community showcase events, so people that are in the community have been leveling up. They get to play the game on stream because I do commentary for them every so often, and it's a good time. You get to hang out. They do charity events once a year in December, I think, to raise money for various charities and all that stuff. So that's always a good time too. Um, if you're interested in a session like this for yourself, take a look at the Fire Eyes Discord. Under, I think it's called Level Up, is the main section there. There are several channels for coaches in Fight Rise that can help you out. I'm one of them. You heard Satori mentioned he also does coaching every so often for Fight Rise. So if you're interested in a session like this or anything like that, take a look at those channels, sign up, talk to the coaches. They'll hook you up. Also briefly mention your big league KO. So we kind of talked about it. I touched on it briefly. Uh, Big League KO is basically a league format. You're put in an 8-person pool. You play around 7 rounds of round robin, and then if you do well in the pool, you get to a postseason, and there's a postseason bracket and all that. So it's basically a month-long format where you run 2 matches a week for over the course of 4 weeks, 7 rounds. And they're all first to 5 games, right? So it's a good way to get more games with folks, right? Longer sets, and more flexible scheduling. So the tournament runs over the course of a month. for the bracket portion or the pools portion, if you will, and then the postseason happens, the following couple of weeks, right? Very very popular events. They get put into a rank separated pool, so if you're interested in that, again, take a look at Discord. I think you do have to be in the master in MR to sign up. But I think most people, it doesn't matter what MR you are, you're going to get competitive matches. I have yet to see a pool that was a complete blowout. They've always been very close. They're very exciting, right? So it's a good time there. I also part of the Newbie Fight Club. So Newbie Fight Club is a fighting community focused on getting newer players into fighting games, mostly SF6 at this point. They do lobby nights every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Wednesday is the main newbie night. Monday is a modern night. So if you are interested in modern, want to play modern, feel free to join that. You don't have to play modern, but it is kind of like the theme of the night, if you will. Fridays tend to be a open lobby night. So if you wanted to get games with folks, join voice chat, hang out in Battle Hub, and play games with folks, that is an option for you as well on Fridays. And then they do a bi-weekly tournament on Sundays. I think one happened today. So if you're interested in bracket matches, you can join a tournament there. It's like a bi-weekly, I think, at this point. There's also a modern monthly. So if you're a modern warrior like Spark is here, and you want to go up against other modern warriors to see who the best modern warrior is in that particular day, there's a modern monthly. So again, all this stuff is in the Newbie Fight Club Discord. So feel free to join, take a look at the events, sign up, right? And if you have questions, just ask. I'm very active in both these communities. So if you wanted to talk to me for whatever reason, get games, sets, advice, whatever, feel free to ping me on these, right? So again, appreciate you guys watching. Again, I know I don't respond to chat while I'm talking with somebody, right? So appreciate your messages, your likes, your follows, all that good stuff. Really do appreciate it. And yeah, thank you guys for watching and have a good night.